Right. Now we go on to one of the other weird fights, the last minute fights. It's not quite as bad as the Bacoli one, but Josh Padley from the United Kingdom. He lives in Yorkshire, England. He got given a mad surprise chance, not only at Shakur Stevenson, but at the world title. I mean, that's just crazy. At 4 days' notice. So I hope he's getting well paid. He probably didn't expect it. Look, I don't know how much they'll be paying him. I mean, it seems like that pot of money, the wallet of Turkey is pretty thick, Because if you're gonna take a 4 minute world title fight against one of the top fighters in the world, you got to get paid for that, and that's good. Hopefully, he can buy a nice house out of it in Doncaster, England, or wherever he lives in Yorkshire. I looked. I mean, Josh Padley. So he's only got one listed amateur fight, which he lost. So he didn't have. He's not got a long amateur career. I know there may be other fights, box track amateur career, as I always have to say, are not complete. However, he's racked up an unbeaten record, 15 wins and 4 KOs. So that's not a big KO ratio. That's like just over 25%, 26%. His last fight, Mark Chamberlain. Do you remember Mark Chamberlain was allegedly Turki Al-Sheikh's favourite fighter? I think he was just trying to be quirky and be different, I'm going to go for one of the lower guys. Anyway, Turki Al-Sheikh's favourite fighter lost to Josh Padley on points, predictably. But that was considered a big upset. But there's a big difference between Mark Chamberlain and Shakur Stevenson, who's going to be your next big, Mayweather-style superstar. The thing about Stevenson, he's got a really odd-shaped head and haircut. He's just, I don't know what to compare it to. I know he flattens the top like Julian Jackson, but he's got a very weird-shaped head and a silly grin, stupid look on his face. He's not the sharpest tool in the box. With these big dimples, I mean, he looks about 14, but he's a good fighter, He's a good fighter. I mean, has Padley got anything for him? Well, Shakur Stevenson's, his best fighters he's fought are guys that are very hard to pronounce. Look at his record. Artem Harutyunyan, Edwin de los Santos, that's not difficult. Suchiro Yoshino, Robin Conceição. These things are pretty hard to pronounce, but he's been interim champion, beating Jeremiah Nakatila, another difficult to pronounce name, in 2021 for the interim world super featherweight WBO title, which became full when he stopped Jamel Herring. So he's not a puncher, Shakur. Out of 22 wins, he's only had 10 KOs. So that's 45% KO ratio. That one powder puff puncher beats another even more powder puff puncher, especially as Padley's been at British level and below. Obviously, though, if you're so much better than a guy, even if you're not a puncher, you should be able to stop him. Excuse me, and that should be the case here, right? You'd think. I mean, to my understanding, has Padley been on the ground? I don't think he's been dropped, but he hasn't fought anyone really of any significance. He beat an unbeaten Jimmy First on points. Yeah. He beat an unbeaten Mark Chamberlain. I mean, that's his best result. But, Mark Chamberlain and full world title, there's kind of, there's a gap there, right? There's a gap there. And he doesn't stop many people, of course. Old Padley. I think he went 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights before he stopped some. So he started to pick up his stoppage ratio. But, let's be honest, he's a powder puff puncher. And the same can be said about Shakur. Although he stopped, as I said, Jamel Herring. He got UD on Valdez Conceição. He stopped the unbeaten Suichiro Yoshino, who I've never heard of. But he was allegedly a puncher, a Japanese guy, but he wasn't good enough. He got stopped. So Shakur can stop. Excuse me. He can stop people, but he's certainly more of a boxer, right? But I would expect his skills. If what they're saying is so, I can't really watch him. I don't find him that exciting. People say, "Oh, he's so skillful. Can't you appreciate his skill?" No, I want to see two people bang. I want to see people get ironed out. I'd rather watch Johnny Fisher, Alan Babbage, and win a lot of money on a first round KO than watch Josh Padley vs Shakur Stevenson. You know, these guys are midgets as well, as far as I'm concerned. Lightweights, come on, man. What's that? 9.5 stone or something? A bit more. Yeah, I think Padley, he's been thrown in at the last minute. I don't know if he was training for a fight. He obviously made the weight without a problem. Maybe he's one of those fighters that's in the gym all the time and ready, in which case, good on him, because that's the way you got to live your life. Not like Ricky Hatton. He, sabotaged his career by just not going near a gym in between fights and spending the entire time in the pub. Not to mention a little bit of yayo and getting knocked out by bodybuilders because he got cheeky about the fruit machine. This bodybuilder, I want to go on fruit machine. Crack. Goodbye. Good night, Ricky. You've been laid out like Manny Pacquiao. Yes, Tyson in the house agrees. Tyson the dog he's talking a lot more, man. It's good. He's happy, but yeah, I think he definitely doesn't like Ricky Hatton either. That's it. Stevenson's got to stop Padley. When? I don't know. Mid-rounds, maybe. But he's got to stop him, surely.